Hey Forbes, welcome to my video. Just have a brief review of what's gonna be covered during this video. So first of all, I'm gonna talk about the basic concepts of being a leader or a manager. I'm gonna pursue by giving further explanation on the difference between leaders and managers. For the second part, I'm gonna give a description of the control process. Then I'm going to explain how to establish standards and benchmarking. And finally, I'm going to give you further analysis on how companies use standards and benchmarking in real life. The chapters that are going to be covered for the video are chapter 14 and chapter 16. So let's start with chapter 14 about leadership. What is leadership exactly? It's the process of influencing others to achieve group or organizational goals, but not only that, it's also to inspire people and lead them to develop themselves. So if you are a born or a natural leader, like the people that are being shown in the picture, we will find some specific traits in you, such as the desire to lead, to have a knowledge of the business or the project that you are leading, because you might be the best leader in the world. If you don't really have any concrete knowledge of what you are doing, you will not really move forward. Also, to be a good leader, you have to be self-confident to inspire assurance towards others. And if you want to be trusted, you have to be seen as a honest person. So leaders have something that managers don't, is the power to influence others and even change the world. And leaders have this particular skill to trigger a part of our brain that make us want to follow them and follow their movement and be inspired by their words. And throughout history, many people with extraordinary leadership skills have had a huge influence on the world, such as this guy here. Of course, he had a bad influence, and everyone could agree that he is one of the worst humans to have walked on Earth. But nobody could really deny that he had amazing leadership skills that made millions of people follow his movement. On the other hand, other people have had a good influence in the world, such as Martin Luther King. The interesting part is that Hitler or Luther King had the same way of influencing others and make them follow their movement, but they only had different motives. So to go further on this analysis, it's really important to know that a leader does not equal a boss. So a boss will tell his people to do, while a leader will guide his people to do. So it's very different, and in the end, the result may be very different. Okay, so let's move on to the second part of the video project. It's about chapter 16. So let's start by talking about standards and benchmarks. So if you create standards and policies for your business, you set benchmarks that your staff must meet. So it's kind of a minimum product or service quality that you promise your customers, and it really builds your reputation in the long-term period. So it's really important that this part of the business is very well managed. So how do we create and establish these standards exactly? Well, first of all, let me remind you that it's really important to create processes, procedures, and standards for your key business activities because in the long term, they define who you are, and the survival of your business depends on that as well. So customer service, including a customer service program or after-tax sales service, can be an example of standards. It can also be about sales practices and sales policies, so you offer guarantees, warranties, and refunds. It can also go as far as marketing and promotions, staff training and performance reviews, and management responsibilities. So for the staff training part, I'm gonna give you an example. So let's say you go buy a tuxedo at Sur Mesure, and also you go buy a t-shirt at H&M. So of course the staff experience and advices are not going to be of the same quality at Sur Mesure as at H&M. So since you are paying way more expensively for one, you will expect the service quality to be very high. So of course the price and the cost are going to be very correlated to this aspect, but that's what really establishing standards is about. Well, thank you for listening, Forbes. I wish you have a great day, man.